Hi, I'm Spramani Elaun with Nature Bar for Kids, Earth-Friendly Art School and Art Supply Company, and I'm excited today to talk about our project. We are doing a snowflake painting with acrylic, and I'm going to be going over our materials list and all the things you need and why you need those to do the project. I'm going to be giving a little quick lesson on snowflakes, and we'll be going step by step and how to do this project and the process. I hope you're excited, and let's begin. So one of the reasons why I picked this project is I like teaching kids to paint by learning fun and exciting subjects. One of the great things about integrating arts is you can actually integrate a science lesson into a painting lesson. I got my inspiration from this book right here, Snowflake, which you may be familiar with, but this is one of my kids' all-time favorites. My kids, when they were younger, had an opportunity to read this and do a science lesson, so I got the idea to combine it with a painting lesson. Another great book I use as a reference is this one right here, Snowflakes, and I will list the name of the books and the author so you can look these up. You can probably find these used on Amazon or new, or maybe get them from your local library. This is another great book that I've been using to get some cool inspiration on snowflakes. That's this book here. The cool thing is snowflakes are unique and there's no one alike. They're all original, which is a great lesson to teach while you're painting, because when your kids start to paint for the first time, they're going to get frustrated and feel like they have to copy the samples exactly. But the unique thing is, or the thing you can tell your kids is, no snowflake is alike and neither is their painting. So they will have an original snowflake no matter how they paint it, and no matter how it comes out, it's going to look great. Okay, so the first thing we want to talk about is we are using acrylic. So when you use acrylic, there are certain things that you're going to need. We're using my non-toxic, earth-friendly acrylic, and we're using 3 colors. For this project, you're going to need white, a dark blue, and it won't matter what tone of blue, so don't worry about that. Just a dark blue will work. Any dark blue, like a phthalo blue or a ultramarine blue or a royal blue, anything similar to that. And then a black. Those are the 3 colors we're going to need: black, blue, and white. We're going to need somewhere to put that. You can use a palette or you can use a paper plate. It depends on what you have. Don't worry about having to go out and buy an expensive palette. This is very inexpensive, and we do sell it on our website for $5, so you can purchase it there or you can purchase it at any craft store. The palette serves its purpose for holding your paint and a place to mix. The next thing you're going to need is paint brushes. And I usually recommend 3 sizes. If you read any of my books or read any of my blogs, I discuss that in detail on why, but I'll just give you a quick rundown. So the big wide brush is for doing wide areas. Kids like to do small details, so you're going to need a small tiny brush and a medium-sized brush. So you can see that there. So we have a large, medium, and tiny. Again, if you don't have these, don't worry about it. Kids can generally get away with just using a medium-sized brush, even to do white areas. You'll also need a washing jar, any jar, a mason jar. I recommend a wide bottom so kids don't knock that over. This jar here is going to be filled with water, and this is your washing station. This is where kids will be washing their paint brushes to clean the brushes out. Along with that, you're going to need napkins, any kind of napkin. This is where you'll wash and you'll dry your paintbrush. Now you'll need a surface to paint on. You can do this any way you'd like. For this project, I'm actually just using a fabric piece of canvas. But you can actually go to the craft store and you can buy a regular frame canvas. Depending on your budget, you could even buy little teeny canvases. It's kind of fun. I have a special metallic canvas here, so it really is up to you. You don't have to have the perfect canvas. You can even use cardboard. You can use recycled canvases. We have a lot in our classroom of painted up canvases that we like to recycle, so if you have an old canvas laying around, that'll work too. So the last thing I want to introduce as far as materials is you definitely want your kids to be covered up in a smock. As you see, I'm wearing one. I don't recommend kids try not to be messy, because painting is messy, especially acrylic. Acrylic paint is not intended to wash out. It's designed to stick on a canvas. So get your kids old t-shirt or a smock, anything will do. Even a cooking apron that you want to use for your art projects will work. So that is the materials that you'll be needing to do the snowflake project. The first thing we're going to do is talk about painting our whole background a stormy, cloudy day. So the first thing I recommend is actually mixing up a gray so the kids can actually see their stormy gray. And what I did was I actually put a little bit of black in the white. This is called a shade, and anytime you add white, a lot of white to a color, you're creating a shade. So I have a nice gray here. I'm going to put a little blue. And there is no wrong way to do this. You want to just have the kids look at the sky and imagine a stormy, gray, cloudy day. And then you're going to instruct the kids to cover the whole background. Now you're going to run out of a lot of paint. You need a lot of paint. So make another pile. You can mix up. This is really fun for the kids to do. They love doing this. So here's my sky background. I'm going all the way to the edge. And this is why we're using a wide brush. So this is the only time we're going to use a wide brush, because as you can see, a wide brush, you can load up a lot of paint and do wide strokes, just like that, which you can't do with a small or a medium brush. See that? You can see how wide we did that, and that's using the wide brush. And this is probably the only time you're going to use it during this project. Okay, so there is a little bit of gray, but I want it to look stormy, so I'm going to add some colors onto the canvas, just directly on the canvas. And again, kids love doing this. You just kind of have to imagine clouds, and you're probably going to have to keep adding paint like I am, and add some more white. And you can see that I've got clouds building up here. It's going to take some time to dry. Acrylic does dry fast. Acrylic is not like tempera. Tempera is not designed to stick on a canvas, so in case you're tempted to use tempera, I wouldn't recommend it. I really would try to seek out some student grade acrylic. You're going to be really happy with that. Okay, so got my cloud look. I'm just going to still try to get that dark stormy color. And you can just show the kids how to make a brush stroke. A lot of kids scrub, not understanding that a paint brush stroke is more of a sweepy motion. That's one of the things you want to teach kids. You can demonstrate that. I noticed that once I demonstrate it one time to the kids and they understand that, they catch on really quick. And they really enjoy that. So there's my clouds building up. And again, there's really no wrong way to do this. You can just kind of keep going. If you like it, you just can't. So there I am. I'll show you what my cloudy sky is looking like. And I will let it dry for about an hour before we start the snowflake. Okay, so we painted our background, and now this is the part where we're going to outline and get ready to paint our snowflake. Traditionally, when you're actually painting, you would sketch out your drawing, but because we did the background first, we're going to actually sketch with a paintbrush. So I'm going to show you a really easy way to make that, what I call the skeleton or sketch of the snowflake. And I'm going to do the center of a snowflake, and you can look at a snowflake picture to help you out, but I've been staring at snowflakes for a few days, so I kind of remember how they start off with. I'm going to start with the center, and then I'm going to do 6 symmetrical lines, kind of like a little skeleton, so I can start to get my shape going. So I like to give kids a sample of pictures of snowflakes. We can't actually look at a real snowflake because they melt really fast, but if you actually print out or get some book samples of snowflakes, it will help them out. We don't really want them to copy it, but we want them to see how a snowflake is formed, its shape, and it really works out. Kids like to do that. Okay, so I got my little needles, and then I'm going to put some more lines on each one of these to kind of start giving my snowflake shape. Again, snowflakes are unique. There's no one alike, so no matter what you do, it's going to look like a snowflake. It's going to be your original snowflake. Okay, so you see that I'm using blue for my outline, but if you see your child only using blue, you want to suggest mixing colors. One of the things we did the other day when we were in art class, I showed kids how no matter what colors they built up and put on the acrylic, it's going to look like ice. I even recommend going over, after you get get your dark in and you go over it with white, it starts to look icy. I would recommend that you get your own painting and you do it right beside your kids like I do in my art classes. I don't recommend you painting on your child's painting or your student's painting. I recommend you show them a sample of your own. Kids get really sensitive if they have a different idea and you have a different idea, so please remember that. Okay, so I'm starting to build my snowflake, and you can kind of see I just made a little skeleton, and I'm using my little brush. My little brush is letting me make little details. So I have a picture right beside me that I'm going to use as an example. I'm showing you that right there. So that snowflake sample I just showed you is just a guide. It's something to kind of give me a guide. So here I go, I'm making all my little needles. I'm gonna mix in grays and blacks and whites, and you want to do that, and you want your kids to see how paints blend together to make shades and tones. And you're probably going to run across a point where your child gets upset and feels like they made a mistake. The cool thing about acrylic is there really is no mistakes to be made. You can always clean them up. So let's say this was all messed up and smeared and they were really upset and wanted to fix that. You actually can get a different brush. I want to show you how quickly you can correct that. I'm actually lifting off. I have this happen frequently in classes where kids get really upset and feel like they ruined their painting, and I always show them like, nope, there's no mistakes in acrylic. You can actually fix that right back up. And then they get smiling again and start all over again, see? And if you want to go back and make all that cloudy, you can get your paintbrush and get your white back out and make that stormy cloud again and let it dry. No mistakes here. You want to explain that to your kids that paintings take time. And mistakes happen, and artists don't like what they do, and they just go back and fix it and let it dry. You could actually let this dry overnight and come back and work on it. But since we have the time, we're going to finish it right now. So I fixed my background. I'm going to go back with a dark color and kind of put my snowflake needle points back again, so I have something to follow. And again, I'm mixing different colors and kind of layering them, kind of give my little snowflake look. I'm dabbing and making brush strokes. If you guys remember that, when you're showing kids how to paint, you want to always show them that they're making brush strokes, not scraping the brush. And you can just keep customizing your snowflake needles and keep getting as creative as you want. One of the things I do during class, because sometimes you can see that kids are nervous and they feel like they're not doing it right. They feel like they're not artists and they don't want to make a mistake. You always want to let them know, yeah, you're doing a great job. You'll hear me in my classes, I'm constantly reassuring the kids, like, great job, good brush strokes. That really helps out and makes them feel confident to keep going. And you don't have to hover over them. You just kind of, every now and then when you see that they have that look on their face, like, I don't know, am I doing this right? Just say, yeah, it looks great. So I'm just doing this really quick. I'm not spending a lot of time doing it. I wanted to just show you what the basics are and how to get started. Do keep in mind, kids at younger ages, if you're working with a kid that is under the age of 6, their attention span is going to be a lot less than a child at 8 or 9. The attention span may last maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Some kids just like to paint it and show, yes, I did it. And then you'll notice that some other kids will spend more time. The older your child is, the more time they'll spend. So it's real basic. Just, keep that in mind. You may be into it in painting and your child may be done, and that's okay. You want to let them know that they did a great job, put it up. But the great thing is that they tried it out. They understand the process of painting with acrylic. In a few hours, they'll see that it dries up and they'll get to feel the texture and they'll understand what paint does on canvas, and it's a great lesson. Last week, I actually took this project into classrooms and I taught over 150 students this exact painting lesson. Everybody's snowflake came out different. Every child had different skill sets, and we were able to get all 150 loving their painting. So I want you to remember that it's just a beginning project. So I just want to remind you that this project can be done with very young children, even ages 4 all the way up to teenage. There is no specific age to try this out. You'll notice that everybody has different skill sets, and some kids will be more detailed, some will be really quick and messy, but it's a lot of fun, and I will be putting pictures on my website later for you to look at those classroom pictures. Don't forget to check out our website and check all our social medias. You'll see all the links to my classes, projects, and online courses coming up.